Good morning. This is Sean Spence with Let's Talk Poverty Perspectives, thoughts on solving poverty in the United States. There's a word we use too casually in this country, choice. We tell ourselves that people in poverty made bad choices, that if they had simply chosen differently, chosen a better partner, chosen a better school, chosen a better neighborhood, they would not be where they are. It's a comforting story. It lets the rest of us off the hook. But what happens when there is no good choice to be made? What happens when every option in front of you leads somewhere painful? Meet Vanessa. She's not a real person. She's a composite of women I have encountered through years of poverty work. Vanessa is 34 years old. She has two children, ages 4 and 7. She works full time at a healthcare billing office, earning $38,000 a year. She shows up on time. She's never been fired. She's doing everything right. Every morning, Vanessa faces a choice that is not really a choice at all. She can pay for licensed childcare, which, according to Child Care Aware of America, cost a national average of $13,128 a year, and watch her budget collapse. Or she can leave her 4-year-old with a neighbor whose qualifications she's not entirely certain of and spend her workday quietly terrified. Neither of those is a real option. They're just two different kinds of losing. Here's the number that should stop this country cold. According to a Child Care Aware of America, child care costs consume 35% of a single parent's median household income. For a married couple, that same expense is only 10%. That's not a small gap. That is a structural canyon. We've built an economy where the cost of going to work can exceed the income that work generates. And we have aimed that equation directly at the women raising children alone. Think of it like a treadmill set at two different speeds. Married couples are walking, single mothers are sprinting, and someone keeps quietly turning up the dial. There are 7.3 million single mothers in the United States right now, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Three-quarters of them are working, and yet, according to the Center for American Progress, 28% of them live in poverty, nearly 6 times the poverty rate for married couple families. Let that sink in. Working, parenting, still poor. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis confirms that single parent households are between 3 and 6 times more likely to experience poverty than two-parent households. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture found that more than a third of single mother families, 36.8%, experience food insecurity. These are not people who gave up. These are people who are running full speed and still falling behind because the starting line was moved before they arrived. Here's where I will say something that some people find uncomfortable. We, as a society, have decided that childcare is the private responsibility of individual families while simultaneously structuring our entire economy around the assumption that all adults are available for full-time work. Those two decisions cannot coexist. You cannot tell a single mother she must work to survive and then hand her child care bill that consumes a third of her income. That is not a policy, that is a trap. The United States is the only industrialized nation in the world without a federal paid family and medical leave policy. Every peer nation we compare ourselves to, every country we point to when we talk about global competitiveness, has made a different decision. They decided that supporting working parents is an investment, not an entitlement. And here's the most controversial thing I will say today. We have collectively agreed to let employers pay wages too low to cover the basic infrastructure of working, and then express bewilderment that single mothers cannot get ahead. According to the Center for American Progress, single mothers working full time earn a median annual income of $40,000. Black single mothers earn $38,000. Latina single mothers earn $34,000. The child care bill does not adjust for that. The rent does not adjust for that. The grocery store does not adjust for that. So here's the question I want to leave with you. At what point does a society that claims to value hard work and family have to look honestly at whether its systems actually support either of those things? Vanessa is not asking for a handout. She's asking for a country that acknowledges the math. She's asking for a child care she can actually afford. She is asking for a wage that covers the cost of the life she is working to build. She's asking for the same runway that two-income families take for granted. And here's what I know to be true. After decades in this work, we have the resources to solve this. Other countries have done it. Some states are beginning to do it. The question is never whether we can. The question is whether we are willing to decide that Vanessa and her children are worth it. I believe they are. I believe we are capable of building systems worthy of the effort she puts in every single day. I'm Sean Spence. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Poverty Perspectives. Learn more at povertyactivist.com. Together, we can solve poverty.